I'm generally amused when I listen to my MAGA brothers and sisters support Elon Musk and say, yay, yay, look at what he's going to do with Doge. He's going to show you guys something. He's going to cut all these things. He's going to take the waste out of government. He's going to do all these great things. He's going to cut $2 trillion out of the American budget. And you guys going to see. But you see, the thing about it is Donald Trump and Elon Musk and the right has been doing a snow job on MAGA and conservative Republicans for a very long time. They're always talking about wasteful government. They're always talking about overspending. The reality is, of course, that the biggest overspenders whenever presidents are elected are generally Republicans. Even Nikki Haley pointed out that Donald Trump blew the budget more so than any other president in recent times. In fact, the only person in my lifetime who has actually balanced the budget was Bill Clinton, a Democrat. The only others that have actually reduced this budget was Obama and, again, lately, El Senor Biden. So the reality is talk is what all of these Republican politicians do, but act. They bloviate, they talk a lot, they mention things, they get things, they make you believe that the government is wasteful, which is true, but that the waste in the government are those guys on the blue side wasting your money. Those guys on the blue side are the ones doing all these issues. Look, when Elon Musk convinces the president to cut certain programs, it's not well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and listen to Michael Steele, and then I'll finish up because I want to point out something very important to all of you. Here we go. Michael Steele, take it away.
Elon Musk posted on X a photo of Donald Trump regaining the POTUS social media handle. And what he wrote was, quote, you see it there at the top, the return of the king. Any concerns about the world's richest man having the president's ear, maybe an office down the hall? And also, Trump said that Musk will be getting an office for 20 people. How do you see this working?
I don't. It's just a hot mess. I don't know what the lawsuits say. I haven't had a chance to look at them yet, but they're legitimate, and it's a legitimate concern. The world's richest man is sitting across the street from the Oval Office. He clearly has more power than the vice president of the United States. He clearly has more influence than any member of Congress. He is going, they want to create this entity in which there is no ethical oversight. There's no governmental oversight. And, he's going to run roughshod and protect his little fiefdom. Look, I've said it from the very first day this man was announced for this job, that the deal he's cut with Trump is to become the world's first trillionaire. He's $500 million away from that. You don't think this man that we're looking at is going to make $500 million over the next 4 years under Donald Trump? Hell yes. When you consider that Trump's son-in-law walked away from the White House with a $2 billion Saudi deal. So tell me how this is not going to work for these folks. But here's the rub. No one in Washington gives a damn. Not on Capitol Hill, not on K Street, because they're all trying to figure out how they get a piece of it or get protected so their little fiefdom does not get exercised by Doge, whatever the hell is calling itself. So we're all bought in here onto this. The American people signed on the dotted line. Do more of this. And they think that they're going to benefit. Look, you're going to slash $2 trillion out of the nation's, off the nation's book. Where are you getting it from? They're not telling you where it's coming from. And you know who's going to ultimately pay for it? All the MAGAs in places like Alabama and Mississippi, who already rely on a lot of federal dollars to make their ends meet in those states. It's not going to hurt California. It's not going to hurt New York. They contribute massive amounts of dollars and get back very few federal dollars. Where this comes home to roost is in the very center of MAGA land. And they seem to be okay with that. So cut away, my friend, and just let the squealing begin.
Now, let me remind you guys of something. The biggest part of the budget after entitlements, and depending on how you counted it, it's even higher than entitlements. It's a defense budget. The defense budget is filled with wasteful spending. I mean, we overpay for missiles, we overpay for rockets, we overpay for screws, we overpay for hammers, we overpay for everything. We overpay when SpaceX, which Elon Musk is the CEO of, we overpay them to launch items into orbit. We overpay AWS to Bezos when we use those services. So the government overpays and overpays, but the people who get most of those overpayments are the oligarchs. If go ADM, the folks who control our foods. It's not the farmers that get most of the money from the farm bill. It's ultimately going to the oligarchs. It's not the people, the soldiers who fight our wars, who get most of the increases and increases and increases in the budget. It's not the missiles that really cost more in material. There are the oligarchs that are getting the profits. Whenever you see us going to war, whenever you see us building the bombs, it is those shareholders in these companies that are run by the oligarchs that are actually the ones that are making the profit. Yet, when Elon Musk and all these guys talk about wasteful spending, they talk about the pennies that they give to somebody in food stamps that may have one time or a few times decide to have something that they believe they are not, that the plutocracy believe those poor people are not worthy of. They want to cut the Social Security, the compact that we have made with our citizens to have a reasonable life after work. They want to cut that Medicaid. They want to cut from those who can least afford to find a way to solve their medical problems. That's what they're talking about cutting. They're not talking about cutting the defense budget. They're not talking about cutting the subsidies to ADM. They're not talking about cutting the subsidies to oil companies. Oh, they can continue to get tax breaks, tax cuts, and everything. Doge is on you, the Department of whatever it is called, to remove all that stuff is on you. And as Michael Steele pointed out, and I have pointed out in blog after blog, in video after video, the people who get the most from the government are the red states. The red states are the states that are poorly managed. They tax incorrectly, and as such, they have the least educated people. They also have the sickest people, and they also have the people that need the most. When the infrastructure bill was passed, most of that money from the infrastructure bill went to red states. When the Medicare expansion, all the monies for healthcare got passed, most of the red people in the red states are the ones that are advantaged by these policies. So here we have, you just kicked the Democrats out of the presidency, the House, and the Senate. Yet the bills that they voted for, the bills that these people voted for, all those poor people that thought they were doing something on January 6th to support the grand Fuhrer, Donald Trump. All of those people who thought they were supporting somebody who cared about them, who supported them. All they were doing is fighting for somebody who ultimately came back into power and will use his power to screw the ones who got him there. You ever wonder why he wants to get everything done quickly? Because he wants to get it done. And after that, he's out of Dodge. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you hate him or like him. He's on his golf course playing golf for the next 3 years. Folks, wake up. You know what being woke is all about? Being woke is opening your eyes and seeing things for the way they really are. My MAGA brothers and sisters, you're about to get screwed over and over by your Fuhrer.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.